We're back with Elijah Nikiforul, the founder and president of the Canadian Young Leaders Coalition. Elijah, you are in fourth year right now,
Yes.
political science and pre-law.
Yes.
Tell me, how do you feel the education system is working for you? Do you think it's creating the conditions for success moving forward? Do you think it's lacking in some areas? Where is there room for improvement in the system? Just from your personal experience. Being in fourth year,
Yeah.
you're now,
Eyes are to the future.
yes, yes, yes.
Yeah. No. I think post-secondary education in Canada is effective at preparing young people in certain areas, but there's always room for improvement. I mean, that's the Canadian spirit. We have to innovate. We have to improve. But I think there's solid room for improvement, more so on hands-on experience in the workforce.
Hmm.
How do we prepare young people to engage with the proper social skills, with the ability to network in their respective industries, whether you're white collar or blue collar or whatever job you're doing, you're contributing to Canada in a significant way. So I think there's always room for improvement.
That's very interesting. I'm out of that sphere 40 years now, civil engineer by training.
Mhm.
But I always thought that the education system 40 years ago beat the creativity out of me
Mhm.
and was more theoretical and less practical.
Mhm.
Now, I've heard that engineering has become much more practical and much more hands-on, and I think that's a very, very good thing.
Mhm.
How do you feel? Is it too theoretical right now? Are we spending time on the wrong issues? Should
Mhm.
we be spending more time on issues that are focused on productivity, growth,
Mhm.
and exploiting our opportunities?
Yeah. We need to make sure that everyone is first and foremost welcome at our post-secondary institutions across the country. But we also need to make sure that we're preparing young people for the roles that come after school. I think that to a certain degree, education has fallen short in this regard. We need to make sure that young Canadians are prepared to enter the workforce with confidence, with hope, with a sense of optimism that they have something to contribute that no one else can. That's something special. And I think there are certain distractions that are being emphasized in our post secondary environment that need to be addressed in a constructive and respectful way, and just have a frank conversation about how we need to prepare young people with the basic skills
What
that they
would
need.
what would be an example of one of those distractions?
Yeah, I think to a certain extent we see this in the United States, where there's not necessarily a gutting, which is I think a sensational term, but more so a redirection of diversity, equity, and inclusion. I think that we're getting more so to the state where if you're studying engineering, what's really important is you know how to engineer
Right,
things well,
right.
because I want to drive over a bridge that is engineered well. So I think in that regard, we need to refocus our efforts towards preparing young people with what they need to have to be successful in their respective fields.
What a great observation. One of the courses I took, and it wasn't a university course, that I thought was the most useful to me in my entire 40-year career or 40-year plus career, was public speaking course.
Hmm.
It wasn't taught in university. It wasn't taught in high
Hmm.
school, but it was something that I took off-site, and it was one of the most useful courses I'd ever taken. Similarly, I've always thought schools don't focus enough on financial literacy.
Yeah.
And I think if they spend a little bit more time on teaching people the core basics of finances, the country would be in a better spot. What do you think?
100%. I think, at least in Ontario, there have been solid strides made in that direction, specifically on the front of increasing financial literacy amongst our various communities. But I think you hit the nail right on the head, Vess, which is that you took something very special away from this course that was existing outside of your traditional academic environment. And I think that there's nothing that replaces real world experience counterbalance. We need to see a greater increase in internship opportunities. Universities have to help facilitate those opportunities because their networks are very impressive, and they're wide, and they stretch across the country. So that's my perspective when it comes to our post-secondary situation.
Boy, you're right. We have some of the best universities in the world.
Yeah.
People from all over the world come to learn in
Hmm.
our universities. And I feel we haven't exploited that resource enough and to the benefit of Canadians. Let's pick that up when we come back from break. We'll be right back.